Everybody came up to me last week and said, Mike, you're killing it with those dad jokes for Christmas. In light of that, why do we always invite the shepherds to Christmas? Well, not exactly, but close. Because they're outstanding in their field. Oh, my God. Why don't crabs celebrate Christmas? Because they're shellfish. Oh, are you serious? Yeah, we're serious. So, anyways, well, we're here, right? Isn't it about time? And with that, has been, for me personally, has been just so much fun. So yesterday was the first chance we had to get together with family, and we begin the whole process of, it's almost to me like I feel like it's like an airplane coming in for the landing. That's what it feels like as we get closer and closer and closer to Christmas. And I'm sure several of you are getting ramped up and ready to go. For me and my wife, we're going to be driving to Detroit and spend the next couple of days in Detroit. And then we're going to come back here, and then we're going to do the Christmas Eve service. And by the way, who's going to be here for the Christmas Eve service? Everybody raise your hand. If not, I will come personally to pick you up and bring you here because we want to celebrate Christmas Eve with our family. And that brings up something that I almost forgot that I wanted just to mention. And she is not going to like this, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I just want us all to wish our beloved Willow a happy 50th birthday. How cool is that to be born on the solstice? And how many people appreciate the solstice and what the solstice means and what it does? Now, look, I could get really spiritual and airy-fairy right here, but to me, here's what I think about when I think about the solstice. I think we're finally here. It's the shortest day of the year. Moving forward, the days are going to get longer. And my brain doesn't care that, yeah, Mike, but that means 2 months of freezing cold weather. There's something about, yeah, but the days are getting longer. That's all that matters to me. And so it's kind of like, I feel like we've made it, right? We've made it to the solstice. And man, but has it been cold. So anyways, just super, super glad you're here. Super glad to be celebrating this moment. Super glad to have the opportunity to come together and from a collective consciousness standpoint, be able to put all of our good vibes into whatever we're wanting to create for Christmas. So as we go throughout the course of this service, I'm just going to ask you to remember that we are all part of the collective. And if there's something that you would love to add to the collective, I don't know, maybe like love, maybe joy, maybe peace, maybe happiness, maybe gratitude, maybe healing, maybe forgiveness, maybe all these different things that we talk about here at Unity, you could add to our spiritual pot of soup, if you will, that we create here today. Because in my opinion, because of the knowing or the understanding of who and what you are and who and what we are, we get to create whatever we want to create. And so this can be a completely magical, mystical, incredible experience just by coming in and joining us this morning. So do not limit what the potential is that can happen here this morning, because here's what I will promise you. Number one, what I know is God's here. God's here. And with that, anything is possible. And the only reason that we don't have those experiences more in our life is not because of God, ever. It's because we say that, well, we can't have that experience like all the other mystics and everybody else does. And when God's just sitting there looking at us going, that's not necessarily true, but because of who and what you are, if that's the experience you want, well, then you can have it. In the same breath, if you want to have a magical experience, an amazing experience, we can do that as well. And we can do it together collectively. And that's what is so fun. And so one of the things that I love about this idea of coming in and having these discussions is that each and every one of us understands this thing called the divine differently. We all do. If I sat down with each and every one of you and I were to say, so tell me about God, you would sit there and I would hear this beautiful story and it would be amazing. And then I would talk to the next person. I'd say, tell me about God. And you would sit there and you'd go on. It would be completely different than what this person talked about. And so we all can have this different experience of this thing called God. And yet there's something about it that brings us together. It's something that in our hearts of hearts, we all know and we all feel and we all just have this incredible incredible ability that if we just spend a little bit of time with it and we turn off the phones and we shut off the radios and the televisions and we slow down and we listen, then all of a sudden that little still voice, we can hear it. And if we slow down just a little bit more, it gets louder. And if you slow down a little bit more, you can experience it. And then you become to realize that number one, it's always there. Always. And then number two, you can open yourself up at any time to let that flow through you. You can just say, God, use me. Let me be a conduit of your love. Let me become what Jesus knew in his heart of hearts. Let me do that. And so let me spend my time sharing that love that you shared, that Jesus shared. Let me do that. I think that would be pretty cool. And all of us can do it. You can do it right now because that's what's inside of you. So just know that in this Christmas season with all the comings and goings, my hope and prayer for you is that you're given a moment or a little bit of time where you can truly experience that, where you can just slow down and feel that coming through you. Because if you do attempt to do it, you're going to have an experience. I promise you that.